Alright, so this is going to be my review on Torchlight 3. I'm streaming it right now, so I have chat with me. First thing I want to do is go over some of the stuff over the past week. So they released some patch notes where they're adding some stuff. A relic subclass they're going to update, and then they delayed the wipe for the early access until August 11th. The Relic subclass is going to have 9 total skill slots. I actually like the Relic subclass, and there's a bunch of different things that you can do with the Relic subclass. One of the main ones that I used, I'll go ahead and log into a character and show you, is where you do damage, but you cause bleed. Where is it at? Skills. So, Blood Frenzy, I like. You cause bleed. The more bleed you do, the more health you regain. It's a pretty fun, active little skill. So, I want to go to the fort so I can pull up all the different relics that you can pull up. So I only ever messed with this one, and it just happened to be my favorite so far. I didn't care too much really what the other ones did, because the other ones don't sound as cool as making bad guys bleed and then you heal from it. So no, not that one. Was it the Reliquary? Yep. So, alright, so you got Bane, spreading poison, Cold Heart, use ice damage, Electrode, it's like weather stuff, and then Flaming Destroyer, big ass fiery sword. Blood Drinker to me just sounds the coolest. So, that's kind of the one I used on all three. And then this is on my highest level tune that I had. This is kind of the route that I was going with it. So, but I mean, the relics are pretty self-explanatory. I like the fact that they're expanding it a little bit. And I think you can make a whole character based off of just your relic. So it just kind of adds a little bit more variety. Character select. I do like the fort. Actually, I'll go back in. I do like the fort. I just don't see any point in the fort, honestly. Other than to just give you something extra to do. Like, it serves no purpose in the game whatsoever. Other than giving you a little place to decorate and doing stuff that you should be able to do in any city. But that's just my thoughts. I really wish the game would stay at about $30, like the official release. But I know that it's probably going to be a $60 game when it releases, and I think that's too expensive for this, for a cartoon version of what's basically Diablo. And I compare it to Diablo because Diablo is the gold standard. So what would you do first? Choose your relic or character. Well, you have to choose a character first, and then you eventually unlock the relic, and then it's just picking which relic you want. So something that I've noticed, one of the negative things that I've noticed, right, is out of the 4 characters, 3 of them basically play the same, which is a little boring. So the Dusk Mage, the Ranger, and then like the little Forged guy, it's basically kite and range. The train track guy, the rail master, is more tanky, and I like how the train provides a lot, like support and buffs and whatnot. So we'll go to him, and then I'll pull him up. The co-op, I think, is what would sell this game. I think the game is alright when you play it by yourself. It can get boring, but I think the co-op is what would really make this game a whole lot of fun. So we'll just go to the fort real quick. I'll show you. So this is the Rail Master. And then, so like I showed you, for Relic, I'm pretty much, well, I haven't unlocked the Relic on this guy yet. You can craft gear. So this is a train track, the Rail Master. I've got like a little shield that'll buff me, a little minigun on the front, and a mortar on the back. You can craft gear, and then you can enchant gear as well, if you got the recipes for them. I'll do this real quick just for now. So you pick up both and you can craft. You've got different little stations, so when you go to customize your fort, functional, you got different things that you can craft to put down in your fort in different categories that allow you to do different things. Whether it be enchanting gear, the reliquary is going to be for your relics. Stonemason, smelter, those are things you're going to need to put upgraded items in your fort. And then you've got things that add stats to your character, like the this Hyvid's Bane weed, the Forsaken Fortunato, stuff like that. And then the skill stations. So I will tell you this, alone, depending, because you can, unlike, so actually, you can create several, I mean, not create, sorry. You can select several different difficulties. I was playing on hard by myself mostly, and a lot of the time, I would get overwhelmed during a boss fight, and you can just burn through potions. So I don't think they need to have a where you buy potions. I think it just needs to be one that has a cooldown, and then we would need to find something else to do with the gold, whether it be have better gear in the game that you can purchase, or purchase materials to either upgrade your fort or to craft your gear. So I think there'd be a better use to have to do with gold, because most of my gold very early on, at least through like the first 20 levels, has mainly gone to just buying potions, and then that's playing hard most of the campaign by myself. So it's challenging, but it can be difficult. What else we got? So the pet, I'm glad you brought that up. So the pet system can be very useful once you free certain pets. So I like the idea that, like, after you beat certain boss fights, you will unlock a pet, or you'll have to free the pet, and you can either keep them or send them back to your home, which they'll come back to your fort, and then like you got your little pet shelter right here, and then you got a bunch of different pets that you've unlocked. So with that being said, sometimes pets will give you certain skills, and as you level up, your pet levels up, and then you can put certain passive skills on them. So like I like rolling with Battle Cry, all allies gain 25% increased damage for 10 seconds. Cools down every 30 seconds. Deadlier strikes. Your pet grants plus 15% critical strike chance to nearby allies. And then healing friendship. My pet heals me for 50% of my health. They've got some neat little pet skills, and then some that are just kind of like sound cool but are not really useful. One of those is called Pass the Gas. Every 30 seconds, your pet drops a small cloud of gas that deals 125% weapon damage. It's not really all that great. Sounds cool, not really all that great. So Necro Pupper, your pet summons 2 skeletons that deal 50% of your weapon damage, have 50% of your health, and a lifespan of 12 seconds. This one would be better if the skeleton summons didn't have a lifespan, if they just stayed up, and then if they died, then your pet would eventually just respawn them. Defender, getting that increased defense. Running partner, 15% movement speed. No, not really. There's so many like totems throughout the game that give you different abilities, whether it be like you do a bunch of AoE damage or whatever the case is. That like something like this, your running partner or whatnot's not really needed. Vampirism would be really useful, especially if you're playing solo. Your pet's attacks have a 15% chance to heal you for 10% of their health. So that would be useful if you're playing by yourself. One of the ones I do swap out every once in a while is Screeching Stun. 200% weapon damage and it'll stun enemies. I'll swap that out with Battle Cry, depending on what I'm doing. So, what else we got, chat? Any other questions? Anything else that we want to know? So, the trading, I have not seen any trading in the game. I think that is going to be something that they pick up or put in the official release, but I have not interacted or done any trading in game. So I'm pretty sure like some items are bound on pickup, but like I said, I haven't had much experience with that. In game, so in game is going to be kind of like there is a raid more or less that they released during the early access. I never got around to playing it, and the reason I never got around to playing it is because accounts are going to get wiped, and I don't have the time to level up all 4 characters to end game to play the end game just to get the account wiped. So I paid the $30 for the early access because I was looking forward to Torchlight. I played Torchlight 2. I like a lot of the things that they kind of added that make this game a little bit different than Torchlight 2. But at same token, I didn't want to put a whole bunch of time into it. Does it seem easy to level up depending on the character that you're using? 100%. It is super easy to level up in this game. And it's just running around killing stuff and playing. I'm not even trying to grind levels or anything, and then before I know it, like I went from like level 1 to 10 in like no time. And then even on my main character, the Dusk Mage that I was playing, that I got well into the second act with, like I was just leveling up and not even realizing it. Yes, there is a level cap. Level cap is 60, I believe. I believe that's going to be the level cap for the official launch here in a couple weeks or whatever that's going to be. So there is a level cap. So a good way to think of this, so there's 3 acts or 3 chapters to the main campaign. You should do about 20 levels per act. And then that also to help you on figuring out where you're at. So here is the map for Act 1, map for Act 2, and then map for Act 3. So the maps are actually really big. They can get somewhat confusing as far as where you need to go sometimes, because you'll see like where it'll tell you need to go to Lake Gobdunk, but then you've got a question mark over here, and then you got to figure out how to get over here in the middle of nowhere. Have I found any good grinding spots? I mean, any map really. Every map has a lot of ads, and then a lot of elites that spawn, and a lot of world bosses that spawn. And then you have like the little mini dungeons and caves and stuff like that that you can go into that all have bosses in them. So you can grind just anywhere, which is a fun way to a fun thing to have in the game. There's always stuff to go kill. Is there always something to go do? No, not really. There's only been 2 quest lines that I've come across. The main story, and then you get a quest line. There's a guy that should pop up here that has a quest line for doing stuff in your fort and customizing your fort. As you can see over here on the right, I've got place a wardrobe in my fort and then main quest line. I wish there's more like side quests and stuff that you could do in the game, but I haven't seen any. But I definitely wish that was something that they would add. So what else we got, chat? What else?
You look ill. Can I offer you a drink? Oh, is that all?
So yes, that is something that they should have added after the early access started. Does it cost to travel? No, it does not. So you can basically open up a portal anywhere. So let's do this. 3, you can have a group up to 4. If you can have more than that, then that's probably in game, which, like I said, I haven't done. But you can. I know you can have a group up to 4. To like any other typical action RPG series game. So for traveling, right? You can literally open up a portal anywhere, and then bam, and then it doesn't cost anything. So once the official launch happens, you can do a single player campaign where you don't have to be online. Just for the early access, though, you had to do everything through multiplayer, and then that's just so you can be online and the game can be providing feedback to the developers, which is all these players running around here in the city. So you won't see them out in, like, I guess the open world, but you'll see them in like the cities and stuff, like the little main areas. Yes, when the official launch happens, you will be able to play offline. So right here, single player, that's going to be offline And like I said, that comes after early access. That's going to be with the official launch. So now I don't know if you can create a character in the single player and then use them in the multiplayer, or vice versa, or if that even matters at all. So that part I don't know, and can't test that out if you don't have the single player option available to you. So, but I'll go ahead and start finishing this review up, chat. When playing with others, do all players have to have a different character? You can double up. You could have 4 of these gadget guys right here if you wanted to, or forged guys. You could have 4 rail masters. It doesn't matter. It'd be best to play with variety because each one brings something new to the table. But I know 3 of the 4 play almost the same. So, so this guy right here, he's pretty cool. You can use him as maybe a tank type character, but when you're playing by yourself on a harder difficulty, you want to try to kite in range, especially early on, or else you're going to get slaughtered. So he's got a really cool gun that opens up in his chest. So this is a Dusk Mage. It's all ranged attacks by this character, basically. You can debuff the character or debuff the ads, but your offensive attacks are all ranged. And then the Rail Master is mainly going to be like your tank guy or your tank person with the rail car that provides a good amount of support. I think the best all-around character right now from what I've played is the Rail Master. And I think that's the one you can have the most fun with that doesn't seem like it's too similar to the other 3 characters. So, now, like I said, to finish up, early access $30. I don't think the early access was worth $30, maybe 20. I imagine the official launch is going to be $60. I I would say it's probably worth closer to the $40 range. Um, and that's just based off of I don't know the replayability and the end game because I never made it that far. I just did the first act on these characters because I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of time getting one character up really high to just early access accounts are going to get wiped. So with that being said, I definitely think it'd be a game to check out if you like action RPG games. It's a fun game to play, especially in a group. And then, like I said, the characters are fun, but your only real varieties, from what I see, is going to come with the Railmaster. If I were to give this game a grade just based off of early access, I'd probably say like a B minus. There was a lot of connectivity issues during early access with servers and whatnot. It seems like they fixed quite a bit of that, like server stability issues. The lack of variety between the characters, and then just the single like campaign quest, and that's all I've seen. Like I said, I would love to see side quests. I would like to see them do something to the other characters to make them play different. I like the relic in the game and how you can have the different relic skills. I like the pets, the new pet system with the pet skills. The fort stuff is alright. There's not really any point to it though. It just gives you something extra to work on. The story isn't all that exciting, but every once in a while you get a bit of the story while you're playing the campaign. Most of the time it's just, hey, wander through this area to this point, go kill this guy. All right, go back to the main city, pick up the next part, go travel to this point, kill this guy. It's a lot of that back and forth. So, but no, and that's basically it. Like I said, I'd probably say a B minus just based off the early access. Um, it has potential in the action RPG series, but we'll see where it goes. But that is it for this video. Like I said, my YouTube channel, !YouTube, if you want to check it out, if you want to see the review video again, I've got all kinds of stuff that I put on my channel, on my YouTube channel. But that is it.